introducing our next speaker. About 3 years ago, I went to a conference in Boston called the BLC, Building Learning Communities, and it was a sea of grown-ups and one, at the time, little girl. And I thought, oh, that's nice, somebody brought their daughter with them. That's a really nice thing. Well, then I noticed that she actually had a lanyard on. And then I also found out that, from Stephanie, I believe, she was a co-presenter with Kristen Zemke, who is the author of Amplify. Do I have that right? So that first year, Liv was co-presenting. The next year, and I found out she was on Twitter. So I started following her, and I think at the time there may have been only about 22,000 followers. So I started following her, and we started being in touch a little bit, and I was determined to get her to our district. So the next PLC, not only was she presenting, she was a keynote speaker at the PLC. To multiply this by maybe 10. That's how many people she was speaking to. What she has to say is truly amazing. It's inspirational. She's all about student voice. She's all about everything we believe in, student choice. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about the things she's involved in before I turn this over. So Liv is now a 6th grade student entering 6th grade. She is a book activist. Student voice advocate. I had to write it down because there's a lot to say. She is a digital beam of light. I think that's some way that she described herself when she came to Kittredge School. She has 48,000 followers on Twitter now from all over the world. She has teachers in all parts of the world she stays connected with, and I'm very happy to be one of her Massachusetts teachers. She writes about books and has posts on Twitter lists that may be a description of a theme of books that you should read, and if Liv says you should read them, you should read them. She does a blog, the Kittredge Justice League. We have a member of the Kittredge Justice League here today, Chloe, and we have some other friends here who were so inspired by when they saw Liv before, they wanted to come back again. She does a podcast on Pin Audio called The Kidlit Show, where she interviews authors. She co-hosted a Twitter chat for the Teachers College this summer.
She's a keynote there in October.
She's a keynote there in October, and I'm going to be there to see her. She just doesn't know that yet. She's a kid ambassador for Wonderopolis. She is a ballerina. She is a shark enthusiast. If you want to find Liv, use the hashtag Heartbeats. Kids can teach us. She teaches us the power of positive connection on social media. She sent a tweet to 45 about Twitter etiquette. She did come to CBRSD and inspired all 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders at the time. We are very fortunate too because her mom has a lot of good things to say. So she's been to Kittredge as well, and Liv brings her mom all the time, so it's a really nice thing. And this year
I bring you.
Yes, she brings mom. And this year we have the pleasure of her little sister Shar, so we're going to watch for Shar too. So what I really think is special about Liv is that she is, and take this the right way, just a 6th grader with a big heart. I'm going to cry. Big dreams. She collects and shares heartbeats. Empowers students and teachers to find and raise their voices, to make a difference. She likes books, ballet, pasta and butter, and Pop-Tarts. She would like to be an ichthyologist, and she is going to be the president in 2048. So I'll give you the lid bits, and keep your eye on this girl because she's going places.
Hi, everybody. So first, I'd like to start out with a joke for everyone out there who loves books just as much as I do. A duck walks into a library and asks the librarian, "Can I please have a cheeseburger, fries, and a Coke?" The librarian says, "Mr. Duck, this is a library." Whoops, the duck says, "I'd like a cheeseburger." excited to be here as your opening speaker for the new school year, and especially to share my lived story with all of you. I hope I say a few things today that inspire you. Can I just say it's a dream come true to be back in Massachusetts. I have had so many fun, incredible experiences here, including visiting your district elementary schools last fall, and being the keynote speaker at the Building Learning Communities Conference in Boston, Massachusetts. That's actually where I met some of your administrators. I feel so happy that all of our paths crossed, and now I'm back in Western Mass. Woo! And just a little fun fact for you. Last year at this time, I was the opening speaker for Peabody, Massachusetts School District. They were some of the best teachers I've ever spoken to. They swarmed me at the end with lots of selfies. They put me on their local TV channel and gave me a standing ovation after my keynote. Massachusetts teachers understand the power of student voice. Have you ever thought about how you connect your students to what matters in the world? I'm Olivia, the creator of LibBits, and I use technology to share my thinking with the world. LibBits is my digital identity, and it helps me share out big ideas with an audience outside of just my classroom. Each week, I make short videos that share my thinking for books, life, and the world. My LibBit videos are a little bit of me, Liv, and a little bit of my thinking, bits. You put that all together, and you have LibBits. And in case you didn't already know, I have a catchphrase. Keep reading, keep thinking, and keep watching LibBits for more ideas about your books. And sometimes, life. And guess what? This is my 2-year anniversary of when I created LibBits. In just 2 short years, I have shared my story with the world. Since I started LibBits, I've been to lots of states all over the country. I've been to Colorado, Texas, Connecticut, California, New York, New Jersey, Missouri, Ohio, Maine, New Hampshire, Georgia, Florida, Arizona, still going, Washington, Alaska, Oregon, Illinois, Indiana, and Massachusetts. That's 19 states in less than 2 years. My goal is to visit all 50 by the time I'm 13. I've got 3 years to make it happen. So if any of you can help me reach my goal, let's talk after Keynote. Out of all the states that I've been to Texas the most. It must be that we have the same heart for story, right? Since I'm fluent in emoji and I love math, I thought I'd put up 2 equations up to show my Texas love. If you come to any of my sessions later, I hope you'll share with me your LibBit emoji equation and some Massachusetts love. I hope your equation will show some of the heartbeat ideas I share with you today. I hope it will be bigger than the Texas love I've received. That's a challenge, but I think you guys can do it. I am the child of stories, so to be able to share my LibBit story with all of you means the world to me. In June, I was the keynote speaker at a tech conference in West Lafayette, Indiana, and I got to meet Josh Stumpenhorst. Try to say that last name fast. He's a pretty amazing teacher and believes in giving kids lots of opportunities with tech. The first thing I want to say is, he's the only keynote speaker I've ever met who has a last name as interesting as mine. I still win the last name game because nobody has the combo of consonants that I do. You have to be Dutch to own those buttons. But Josh also shared some really important words that I want to share with all of you. He asked the audience, what if learning was for fun and doing our personal best? As I talk today, I hope you think about how everything I share is about my passions, and how those passions mean fun. And because of those, you'll see how easy it is for me to do my personal best. So thanks, Josh, for that reminder. I like to think of myself as a word activist. I love words. A book activist. I love books. And just a plain old activist. I love to speak up and help others understand how important words and books are for everyone. Being an activist means I think bigger than the things that are important to me. It means I think about what's important for the world. I'm standing here today because I am a connected learner. In the last year, I visited 19 different states and spoken to over 10,000 teachers, administrators, and kids. This is a picture of me from a few months ago. I was a visiting innovator at Noel Smith Elementary School in Frisco, Texas. I love doing school visits. I love talking to grown-ups like you, but my best speeches have been to other kids. I think kids listen more when they hear advice coming from other kids. Oh, just kidding. In case you're wondering, I'm also a public school kid. My mom is a teacher of teachers. My dad is a fourth grade teacher. My grand, my aunt, and my uncle, and my grandpa were also teachers. I am surrounded by teachers everywhere. But my school isn't a very connected place, and I'm lucky that I have experiences outside of school where I can grow my learning and my thinking. When I say connected, I don't just mean on social media. Even though I use different social media platforms to share my message, I also use apps that connect me to the world, like Seesaw, Flipgrid, and Tablet. All of these connections help me reach a wider audience. I want to say that I have monitored social media accounts. I am learning how to be safe online with the help of my family. You can do these kinds of things with your kids in your class, and I hope you will consider it. The truth is, the kids in your classroom are the digital future. We need to understand how connecting can be powerful and safe. My story today is about the power of being a connected learner. Just look at this picture. Because I'm a connected learner, my Taiwan teacher, Hannah, and my Malaysia teacher, Erica, met up in New York City and wanted me to be there. Do you see me there? Right there in the middle? That's how powerful connectedness can be. It can inspire your global teachers to find each other in a huge city and share the meetup with you. As I mentioned earlier, I met some incredible teachers and administrators in Frisco, Texas. I feel so lucky I get to do school visits. I've done so many this year in Missouri, Ohio, Connecticut, New York, Massachusetts, New Jersey, Florida, and Illinois. Next year, I'll be back in Massachusetts as a keynote at MassQ in October. Maybe I'll see some of you there, or who knows, maybe I'll be back to work with your students. Anyway. This is a picture of me in June, when I got to meet some incredible Student Ignite helpers at a conference in Indiana. We talked a lot about tech, especially Minecraft, and also especially about cute animal videos. Remember when I mentioned earlier how Josh talked about learning for fun and doing your personal best? He also talked about how motivated students are by the feedback online. And it's definitely true. And kids are also motivated by puppies. I mean, come on. If you want to engage students, then just play videos like this. And I mean, come on. If that puppy video doesn't convince you, I mean, I'm not sure why it wouldn't, but I have another secret weapon. To convince you that puppies are an important motivator to kids. Here is Genevieve from Frisco, Texas.
Hi, my name is Genevieve. This is Smith Bates. And also, you should have a fact about puppies. They're so cute. Even you should get a golden retriever one because it's very cute. And I love them so much because they're very, very, very cute. And watching.
And no worries, because I tweeted out the link from my tweet deck. So if you are following me on Twitter, you'll see the link. I hope that you're following me on Twitter by now. All of these opportunities came from my awesome connections online. And you know what I saw during my school visits in Frisco? I saw kids and teachers who were so interested in hearing from another kid. I saw kids using devices to create about their passions. I also met Dominic at Smith Elementary, and he was so excited to share with me why he loved Limpets. If you look really closely, you can see how his excitement just bubbles right out of his body.
Hi, this is Dominic from Smith Elementary. I really like Limpets because it's really inspiring to everyone and how to solve your problems. And she's really nice because I got to meet her in the library room and she made a speech in the cafeteria and everyone got to see that. And we also got a dance party and I really liked her videos. They're really inspiring to everyone. Thanks a lot, Liz. Bye.
Isn't Dominic amazing? I collect stories like this all the time when I do school visits. They inspire me to work harder and to share my message even more. The very first person who believed in the power of my story was Alan November. If you don't know Alan, you should. I was his Keynote speaker at his International Building Learning Communities Conference this past summer in Boston. I was the youngest kid speaker he had ever had. And if I do say so myself, I think I rocked my speech. I love BLC because it is a chance for me to grow and learn. After I presented at BLC in 2016 when I was 8 years old and just started my Limpet work, I tweeted out a bit before I even left the hotel. Here was my message for Alan and all of my BLC friends.
Hi, this is Limpet. I just want to thank Alan November for presenting me BLC for letting me present with them this year. I had so much fun, and it was such an honor to be a presenter. I just love teaching other people how to use technology with kids. Remember, I want to become a Twitter sensation, so follow me at @Limpet. Keep reading, keep thinking, and keep watching Limpet for more ideas about your books.
Oh, I didn't know. At the time of that bit, I only had a few thousand followers. Now I have over 42,000 on Twitter. My brain was full of big ideas and big hopes for my work. The energy I felt from my time at BLC made me feel like I could change the world. And here's the thing, kids can change the world when they're given a chance. Kids can share their passions, fight for a cause, and make a difference in the world. Being a connected learner means having more opportunities for people to help encourage me and grow my thinking even more deeply. My Limpet work has shown me over and over again about how powerful my story is to the world. I've learned so much about how my story matters. I've learned my story is unique and no one else can tell it like I can. Using tech helps me share my story with places I can't even dream of. Because the truth is, I didn't even know they existed. Being connected matters. Today, I'm going to share with you 5 ideas that matter to me as a connected learner. I ask you to think about what matters when you think about technology, global learning, and students. What really matters is right here in Dalton, Massachusetts. Right now, the future is me. 1. Sharing matters. Sometimes my videos are hard to make because the topics are ones that are difficult to talk about or understand. But that's what makes my Limpet videos so important. Making my videos forces me to think about what I have learned from something hard. It also encourages me to help others by teaching them what I've learned. I even tried to teach our president how to be more responsible on Twitter. Here's the thing I made off.
Hi, this is flip the limits. Have you thought about social media platforms and how you can share your message with the world? Well, today's limit is going to be for our new president, Donald J. Trump. I'm not going to lie, it took a lot of courage to make this limit today. And, Mr. President, I've noticed we have something in common. We both like to use Twitter to share our voice with the world. And I have some advice for you to help improve your tweeting habits. 1. Kids can teach us. Millions of kids all over the world are reading and hearing all of your tweets. And I think of tweets as 140 characters of hope. So you want to make sure that your tweets are kind, hopeful, and true. 2. Be your best selfie. Your posts are a mirror to the world. I'm counting on you. You are representing me. You're representing you. You are representing all Americans. 3. Celebrate others. I think the best kind of digital citizen you can be is one who celebrates other people's work. And who knows, your work can become their work too. And you are the president after all, and you have a lot of influence. I just hope that when you see this event, you'll think more about kids just like me, and your tweets will tell about all Americans and their dreams. And if you ever need any help with that, I'm available to come to the White House at any time. Shoot advisor for tweeting. Reading, thinking, and keep watching Live Bits for more ideas about your books and your world. Sad to report, I never heard from the White House. But I will keep on using Twitter as 280 characters of hope. Because I think now, more than ever, we need to show kids the power of their work online. Your work defines you. Your work is your story. If there are grown-ups out there who aren't good examples, maybe kids can rise up and be the examples we need. My friends call me the CEO of tweets. And that makes me feel so good in so many ways. But most especially, I feel proud. People will see my work as an example of a digital beam of goodness, because sharing matters. 2. Real matters. In my last year on social media, I've seen a lot of examples of fake kids. Kids can have a cause, and social media can help them share it. But I think when it's not truly a kid doing the work, your followers should know. Otherwise, it's another example of fake on social media. The problem is, most often people just care about how cute the kid is and how many celebrities they've met. One of the best compliments I can get is when I meet a follower face to face, and they say, "You are just like you are on Live Bits." Because it's really important that who you are online is really who you are in person. Your posts define who you are and are a mirror to the world. This sticky note is from work I did with kids here in your district. The kids wrote down their own catchphrases for the bits they were making. And I don't think I have ever seen a better message for the world than what this third grader wrote. Stay strong, stay smart, and spread the light. This message should be in every single classroom where tech is available to kids. It can serve as a reminder to do what a good digital citizen does. Kids are so amazing. They will keep it real if they are encouraged. Here are 3 incredible real kids online who have amazing stories to share. Bethany Custer. Bethany is 10, just like me. She has a nonprofit called Color for Kids. Bethany has donated more than 100,000 crayons and other art supplies to kids in need. She is such an incredible kid doing digital good. Follow her. Nate Butkus. If you don't know Nate, you are missing out. He is my buddy. He's my podcast buddy from Chicago. He's been doing this work on his show about science since he was 6 years old. Nate is 8, and his podcast can be found in the Penna app. You can find my podcast there too.
Nate actually created a show and sold it to Pinup. And he's been on Ellen. How incredible is that? I totally admire him, and I have learned a ton from him about podcasting. Be on the lookout in the near future for a collaboration between Nate and me. It's going to be a Kids Can Teach Us Summit, all about sharing your passions through tech. Emma again. She's only 12 years old, but she created an app called Timeless to help her grandmother, who has Alzheimer's. Emma was worried her grandma would forget what she looked like, so she created an app that uses facial recognition to help her grand's memory. I hope you will look up Emma's work and read more about her. She's already working on her second app. I hope that you will follow these real kids online and see how incredible. I hope you'll follow these real kids online and see how incredible it can be when you follow your passions. Being real matters. 3. Perspective matters. I learned something new about myself, my followers, and the world almost every time I post a Live video. My mom says LiveBits helps me live out my dream, and I think she's right. LiveBits has helped me be the kind of global learner I was meant to be. I have so many teachers around the world who help me grow my thinking. And I like to hashtag them by their location, like hashtag my Taiwan teacher, hashtag my Malaysia teacher, hashtag my Africa teacher, hashtag my Texas teacher, and hashtag my Canada teacher. I even have a shark who teaches me. I like to call her hashtag my guardian shark because she circles around the social media waters and helps keep me safe online. All of these teachers are part of my digital tribe, and without LiveBits, I wouldn't know any of them. A while back on Twitter, one of my followers, Kristen Matson, a library media specialist in Illinois, commented that my videos really showed my commitment to social justice. I didn't even know what that was, but the comment made me want to learn more. And once I found out about social justice, I felt proud that a follower was encouraging me and learning from my posts, and it made me want to do even more bits and learn more about social justice connections. A big part of my message is that kids can teach us. I use this hashtag a lot because it really defines what my LiveBit work is all about. Lots of times, people think that only adults can be the teachers, but you don't really have to be an adult to teach others. I posted a lot of Twitter chats about student voice and digital citizenship. I want to share something super important with all of you. If you participate or co-moderate chats with a kid, especially when you talk about believing in the power of the student voice, you should probably engage with the kid that is participating. There are lots of people on social media who post about believing in the power of kids, but their behavior is very different. That's why you'll see me in those chats, slipping in my hashtag Kids Can Teach Us whenever I can, because perspective matters. 4, hope matters. My bits are not always political. Most of them are about my love of reading and books. Here's a bit I made with summer reading tips.
Hi, this is Look Bit. Do you have a summer reading plan in place? Lots of times, teachers make the reading list for kids. And here's some tips about how kids and adults can learn and grow together. 1, set aside a pile of books in a place where you love to read. And when you finish a book, put it in your I did it pile. You'll feel really proud when your stats start moving. 2, keep a word journal so you can keep track of all the cool new words you learn. I'm a word nerd because I love to collect new words. 3,
go with it. Someone commented about how lucky I was to have books to read over the summer. The comment also mentioned kids who aren't as fortunate. The week before, I posted a bit for a class in Ohio, and someone commented that he didn't like the feminist message on my t-shirt and that it was probably just a political move made by my mom. She's sitting right there. I'm a thinker, so my brain goes back to these comments again and again. I like to think about how my posts are perceived by my followers. I talk about it a lot with people. I want to understand why my followers think I don't understand the needs of other kids, or what the word feminist means. It bothers me so much. Sometimes grown-ups don't give kids enough credit. They think they can say things that won't stick with us. They think we don't understand when their comments are cutting or snide. Sometimes grown-ups take out an injustice they feel in other people. And when those people are kids, they expect us to just take it. I'm for digital good. I want people to see me as someone they can count on. And here's the thing. I use my blog, social media, and the bits I make to share hope with the world. I do know that not all kids have the same opportunities, and I spend a lot of time worrying for other kids. I wish kids everywhere had the same experiences with books that I did, but I do know that that isn't always possible. That's one of the reasons why I started with this. I think when kids hear messages coming from other kids, they listen more, and they feel hopeful and inspired too. My friend Chris Giovanni calls me her digital conscience. She says I make her think about her tweeting habits. I took 2 definitions of digital and conscience, and highlighted the most important words. Do you see them up there? Stories, positive, audience, and voice. These are such powerful words. I used them to create my own definition of digital conscience, and I hope you like it. Maybe all we need is a digital conscience. I think that would help us see how powerful hope can be, because hope matters. 5. Story matters. If there's one thing I've learned this year, it's that my story matters. I am the child of stories. I read, I think, I talk, I share, I learn, and I am so lucky that I have teachers in my life who are all over the world who encourage my story. And here's the thing, we all have stories. If I had one wish for all of you for this new school year, it's that you share your story with your students. Kids can't learn from people they don't connect with. So sharing your story matters. Here are some organizations that have incredible stories that you should know about. I hope you use these with your students. All of these stories come from my passions. All kids deserve a connected life that helps them deepen their passions. OSearch. OSearch is an organization that does really cool shark research. They have tagged sharks all over the world, and scientists study them to help people understand how important sharks are for the ocean. Did you know that 100 million sharks are killed each year? That means about 5,000 sharks have been killed since I started this beach. I hope I can help stop all this. If sharks disappear, it would cause something called trophic cascade. That means when an apex predator, like the shark, disappears, it affects the entire world, not just the oceans. Please follow OSearch's important story. My interest in sharks led me to join forces with Heather Lynn, author of Swimming with Sharks, The Daring Discoveries of Eugenie Clark. Eugenie is my shark hero. She was a scientist who made a difference in the world of shark research. Heather and I formed #TeamGenie to celebrate Eugenie's vision of shark conservation. Here's a bit I made at one of our events. Hi, this is Liquid Lipids, and I'm with New England Aquarium in Boston, Massachusetts. Today I'm celebrating World Oceans Day, and I teach people all about sharks, also known as my spirited. So think, what are you doing to save the oceans? Remember, caring for the oceans means that you're caring for sharks. Caring for sharks means that you're caring for our world. Keep reading, keep thinking, and keep watching Lipids for more ideas about events. Please follow Team Genie's incredible story. Step Up Magazine. Step Up Magazine is a digital source that inspires doers, thinkers, and givers. Your students will learn about diverse people making a difference in the world. The stories in this magazine are meant to inspire you to learn and do something great in your community. I was so lucky to be featured in this incredible magazine. Please follow Step Up's awesome story. Lit World. Lit World is one of my absolute favorite literacy organizations in the entire world. I got to visit the founder, Pam Allen, at Lit World's headquarters in New York City. Pam and her people do incredible things for kids all over the world. Pam's vision is for all kids to have quality reading experiences that connect them to their passions. Here's a bit I made with Pam just before I was interviewed by her on Facebook Live.
Hi, this is Liquid Lipids. I'm Les from Lit World in New York City. Have you ever thought about all the different ways we can change the world? Pam Allen changes the world by helping kids share their stories, just like me. And we are stronger together. Keep reading.
Keep thinking.
And keep watching Lipids for more ideas about your life.
Hi everybody, we're here in the Lit World office with the amazing Liv, who is a nationwide sensation thinking about reading, dancing, speaking, touring, thinking. You have so many things on your mind. So we're here in the Lit World office, and Lit World and Lit Life do a lot of lit things together. So when we heard you were coming to New York, we were really excited because you really represent the future of kids and reading.
Aww. I hope you will join the World Read Aloud with Lit World this year. It is a super opportunity to share a global reading purpose with your students. My Lit work has shown me over and over again about how powerful my story is to the world. I've learned so much about how my story matters. I've learned... Sorry, the thing just skipped back all the way to the beginning. Please give me a moment. Here we go. We're good. Ready? Okay. Please follow Lit World's powerful story. Sorry for the inconvenience. Wonderopolis. If you don't know Wonderopolis' work, I am so happy to get to tell you all about them. Every day, Wonderopolis shares a Wonder of the Day on their website. And it has text activities, lessons, videos, and thinking prompts to go along with the wonder. Kids can also share their own wonders in the Wonder Bank. Wonderopolis helps kids think and be curious about the world. I am so excited to be their first Wonder Kid ambassador and that I can lend a kid voice to their work. Please follow Wonderopolis' wonderful story. Newsella. This is the most amazing site for informational text that kids can visit. This site gives you loads of topics that are interesting and fun to read. And it doesn't matter what kind of reader you are, because Newsella supports all types of readers. If you need text sets that can help your students dig deeper into a passion or a topic, then you need some Newsella in your classroom. They even partnered with BrainPod, my absolute favorite informational video site. So now, you can read and watch videos all paired together. It is so awesome. Please follow Newsella's Real News Story. Edgero. Edgero is an awesome site made by teachers, for teachers, parents, and kids. There are loads of online courses for teachers and parents, and ideas about how to help all kinds of learners. Edgero is a global organization with teachers who connect from all parts of the world, so the learning opportunities are endless. Please follow Edgero's global story. Pin a podcast for kids. My newest project is my own podcast with Pinna. My podcast is called The Kidlet Show. You can find it in the Pinna app and on Apple Podcasts. I got to interview some pretty incredible authors like Kate DiCamillo, you probably know her, Peter Reynolds, and Adam Gibbons. I even have my own theme song. Like, yeah! So hold on a minute. When I was in St. Louis at the METC conference, one of the keynote speakers had superheroes in her presentation. So I thought, if adults can have superheroes, I can have a dance party, right? So everyone stand up, and I challenge you to a Kidlet Show dance-off! Woo! Come on. All of these connections came from being a connected learner, because Pinna found me online. I want to show you one last snippet I made for a friend to use in her future-ready presentations. I never imagined I would ever get a chance to talk to teachers and administrators. So Olympics has helped a lot of my dreams come true. Here's what I think about being future ready. Are you future ready? Being future ready means learning bigger than you ever have before. It means that you value kids and their digital lives. It means you understand that kids get loads of information online. Being future ready means you have a vision for social media as a place to learn and grow. Guess what? I'm the future. I'm Little Olympics. I make short videos where I talk about my reading, thinking, and life. My Olympics have been seen in over 122 countries. One of my Olympics has been viewed over 200,000 times. This is what being future ready is all about. I see social media as a learning landscape. Olympics has helped me find my place in the world. When I started Olympics, I cared more about the world. Kids need you to help them connect, collaborate, and grow their ideas. They need you to empower them and to show them that their story matters. They need you to help them grow compassion and to commit to a cause. Are you future ready? Yes, you are. Join me. I promise it's worth it. Keep reading, keep thinking, and keep watching Olympics for more ideas, textbooks, and your world. I hope you walk away with my speech today and look for more ways to make social media more accessible for kids in your schools. Social media is a place where kids can learn to love the world more, and I'm an example of that. LiveBits has been the best project I've done in my whole entire life. My LiveBit work started out as a chance for me to grow my thinking, sharing, and reading. But it also grew my heart. I have learned how powerful my voice is from this work. And I learned how to understand and love the world more. I hope you'll commit today to never ever underestimating the power of a kid's voice and the power of your story. Remember, kids can remind you of the potential in the world. Kids can inspire you to dream more. Kids can place hope in your heart and give you heartbeats. Kids can teach you what matters. So I'm ready. Are you? I hope that you remember. That was a really bad ending, sorry. I hope you remember the things that matter with your students and tech. Sharing matters. Being real matters. Perspective matters. Hope matters. And story matters. Today, you heard a story that can carry you into the future. And remember that the future is me, and it is so bright. I wish you so many global stories this school year. Keep reading, keep thinking, and keep watching LiveBits for more ideas about your books and life. Thank you.
Awesome. For those of us who publicly speak all the time, we get very comfortable with it, but that is a big undertaking and incredibly impressive. I publicly speak so often that Kathy Buckley had to remind me when I emailed Liv and her mom and said, would they mind doing a quick meet and greet before with some of our 6th graders? And Kathy had to remind me, they might need a few minutes to get ready. And Liv quickly responded, no. She was more than comfortable meeting with some of our students before she spoke. So quite an impressive talent, and so thankful that she was able to share her voice with us. We all know, we learn from people that we look and we say, wow, if that person could do that, maybe I could do that. So please do share Liv's story with your students and how powerful her voice is, and hopefully that inspires them that they have powerful voices as well. So thank you so much to our special guests who came to join us. Does anybody have any questions or anything they Kathy does?
If I could just share, I don't have any questions.
Like how do you do?
I would like to just, if it's okay, introduce you to two, I didn't ask them first. Can I introduce you to two friends who were inspired by Liv? Stand up, Chloe and Lily. They're coming to Nessicus this fall, and they did their own clips about books and life called Little Ideas. And a few of them have been posted on Twitter. Hopefully they'll pick that up again. But these two were inspired by Liv and took it upon themselves to let their voices be heard. So we thank her for that too.
Does any of you have any questions? Yes, you do.
My question to you is, a lot of social media platforms you have to be 13 to access them. So how can we make that available to our students when they're not?
What was the question again?
I said for a lot of social media platforms, and I'm not sure about Twitter.
The age is 13.
The age is 13. So how do we let our students have a voice? It's obviously something they have to do with their parents.
honestly, the best start for like getting it into your classroom is to start with a group account, because then kids, they can all, like, yes, a class account, so that everybody could be on the same one and they could all learn. Because I think, like, if you put them all on separate accounts and they have no clue what they're doing, you want to put them on a group so they can all learn together and kids can teach each other what they already know. So then it's like all kids can teach each other, then this kid can teach, and so that everyone will know what to do if you start out with like a class account.
Larry, talk about how you feel about the 13 rule.
I feel like the 13 rule is too late. Because I feel like when the kids are 13, they don't want to listen to the parents anymore. So the parents try to tell them, you need to be safe online. You need to not fit in it. So then the kids aren't going to listen to you. So I think when you start them young, they're more likely to listen to you and to listen what you have to say about how you have to be safe online. And then, when I started when I was 8, and so that means like I learned all about how you don't want to do this, and how you don't want to connect with these people, and how you want to. And I have a digital tribe, which is like a group of people that can help keep me safe online. So I think those are also some of the things that are really helpful to kids, because then they always know that they can go to someone to talk to. So I think it's now if you have a kid, like if you have a student, like if you're doing it with like a group that's maybe 13, the best thing to do is to make sure that they know that they can talk to you. So then just because, since they're starting a bit older, so then they know that they have someone that they can feel safe with when something happens on social media. But definitely start them young, because then they're going to listen to you. Moral of the story. Any other questions?
Can I add to that since I'm your mom?
Yes, my mom's going to jump with her perspective.
So I appreciate the 13-year-old question, and one of the things that Liv and I do together as a literacy person is I look at this as a learning opportunity for her. And so many parents are scared about social media. So many teachers are scared about social media. And one of the reasons for our work is to show you that this is about learning. And if kids earlier learned that this was about learning, and including adults, if we had learned how much we can learn online, she shared about Josh Depenhouse from Indiana, who was a presenter. He said that of all of his degrees that he got, the best learning that he did was the learning he did on Twitter, professional learning. And so when I think about the power of learning that happens, and unfortunately we don't explicitly often teach that to kids. Liv has connected with people I could have never given her the opportunity of connecting with from her work online. Every single person that you saw in this presentation this morning was from experiences that she's had because she's connected with them on social media. I'm there monitoring it. And so even though she's not 13, it's compliance in the sense that I'm monitoring that account. We're making sure, but she also has an incredible digital tribe of people we identified from day one who were there in case I wasn't. Because that's the reality. Kids get into situations they don't understand. They ask each other, and they can't get information from each other either because other kids don't know. And so having a digital tribe of people that Liv knows she can tag or privately message and say, hey, something's going on, I'm going to tag you in this, can you help me? And she knows not to engage in anything negative that happens online. So that explicit teaching of what's the safety piece here, who can help me, and the other part you should really know if you don't after Liv's keynote is everything she does is real. So to her, when she's interacting online, if you tweeted her a lot, she's going to find you. If she knows you're here today, she's going to blow up your picture and be like, Mom, where's that lady? Because she tweets at me all the time. I really want to know who she is. Right? Now what's funny is adults don't do that. We're often interacting online and we see the person face to face and we ignore them, or we're like, oh, that's weird. Right? Like, I am literally my digital friend. Liv isn't growing up like that. Liv isn't growing up that that's only a digital person. Liv is growing up that that's a real person who's interested in my work. I should really connect with them. Real to her is digital space, it's a real space, and real to her is face-to-face. There's no difference. And you'll hear that in our presentations today as well, that there isn't a line anymore with what Liv does. Liv doesn't see it as a separate space. Everything she does is real. And if all of us grew up kind of understanding that, I think we'd have a lot safer spaces in digital spaces, and we'd also be holding ourselves to a higher level of accountability.
I want to ask you a personal question. Feel free not to answer it if it's too personal. Are you a public school student, private school student, or homeschool student?
I am a public school student.
like Liv shout outs.
Aww. That's always my favorite thing whenever the kids are like, one time, so I still have to tell a little story. So when I was going to a school in Miami, there was this little girl there, and she had the buns, she had the headband, she had the message shirt, and she had the Converse. And she was like, I want to be just like you. So later that day, I'm talking to her teacher, and she's, oh, that's Jennifer Lopez's daughter. And I'm like, what? So I didn't even know that. And so all of a sudden, I'm like, I had this, and I looked, it's like, it's true, it's like, that's Jennifer Lopez's daughter, and she was wearing the Converse. Now, I see pictures from their school on their class account, and I can always see her, she always wears pink, bright pink Converse, and it's so cute. So, yes, Be Like Liv is amazing.
I did have a comment for you. I really enjoy your energy. I really enjoy your public speaking, and I love your PowerPoint, your presentation, your slideshow, and your media presence is fantastic. So I just really wanted to give you a shout out, especially for your PowerPoint. But I have a follow-up question for your mom, if she's available. I just set up a Twitter account for my daughter because she started the cross-country running team, and a lot of the news comes out on Twitter. Yeah, it's wonderful. So she's 55 Shark on Twitter, if you want to follow her. Anyway, the app wouldn't allow her to download it because she has an iCloud account that I set up with parental supervision. Twitter is 17 plus on the iTunes store. And as you pointed out, yes, it's true. Yeah, you can't. She couldn't even download it. So I called Apple, and we had to do a big workaround. It took about an hour. I had to log into her phone as
It's because
me.
it's through your Apple account, so that's part of what it is.
Right. So I had to log into her phone as me, download the app, and then she could log on back, and then it was there. And then because she actually turned 13 in June, it actually was okay. But
Yes.
for the younger students that we want to encourage to be on social media and have a presence like this, I'm all for it. Have you, maybe with your large Twitter following, reached out to Twitter and said, look what I'm doing with your platform. And if you lower the age, we can enable more students to be just like you.
So thank you for that. I want to say this, that I never think it's okay for young kids to be downloading social media apps without parental or teacher supervision and advising, right? So I don't think that a 5-year-old needs to be in that environment. I think a 5-year-old would help, right? Like my youngest can actually tweet with me. She's learning how to do that because she sees Liv, right? We call it having a mentor tech. Somebody can help you with that. But I want to say about the Twitter pieces, Liv actually, when she was 8, was honored at Twitter as a student speaker, and she got to go to the Twitter headquarters, actually where she had her first Pop-Tart, because they have an entire drawer full of Pop-Tarts, and somebody
And they were
thought it would be...
free!
Somebody thought it would be funny to fill up her backpack with Pop-Tarts. I was not happy. Nobody told me. So, but I want to say that that was actually part of the discussion. Social media platforms are actually quite slow at coming around, believe it or not, around with the safety piece. That this locked in place 13, this idea that 13-year-olds somehow have it more figured out or would be more safe. I want to argue with you to say that Liv at 8 was more safe than most of the kids I see online at 13 because nobody taught them how to behave online. In fact, we could look at lots of adult examples. I won't mention any, but Liv mentioned a few today. Who need help, right? Who need a mentor tech. They need somebody to say, what you post is a mirror to the world. And so let's remind ourselves that what I see online is what I'm going to think of you when I see you in person. And I think if we did start younger, so there's been work, but social media platforms have actually been really slow on the uptake. The one that has been actually the most responsive has been Snapchat. They've been the most responsive around lowering ages and helping in. People always freak out about Snapchat, but Snap is actually the safest because you choose like which venue and how people are going to be actually interacting with you. And so it's one that Liv uses, but she doesn't use as much. And I would say that it's hard to get.
I'm just going to look at my face, not the filters.
It's hard to move people away from the fear-based model. It's a very American way that we look at it. In other countries, it's much more progressive about the way that people are looking at social media platforms. And there's other social media platforms in other countries that are more popular than the ones that are here. But yeah, I would just encourage that connection with kids. And also maybe if a your child doesn't have that at home, that you can be the connection as a teacher, that as a class account, you can have a tweeter of the day, you can have an Instagrammer of the day, you can have a snapper of the day. If you're with us today, we're going to talk about Seesaw. You can do all of those things on Padlet. All these behaviors that Liv is displaying and being an expert at, you can teach all of those things in other platforms that mimic the social media platforms, that can help students understand what their stance is. And so yeah, really important and powerful. So thank you for asking that. Yes. Any other questions for Liv? I feel like I got more questions. Somebody has to ask for one more, so she's on the ratio more than me.
What's your favorite part about doing all this?
School visits. I really like school visits because I almost feel like I'm with kids. I feel like the kids, they're going to listen more when they hear from me. And also I just love school visits because it's a chance for me to connect with people that are my age. And instead of telling the parents that we need to start younger, I'm telling the kids. And they're probably going to be a bit more, what's the word? A bit more like, they're going to be more probably into it. They're going to be like, okay, I want to start now then. I'm going to tell my parents. Because if the parents, then they might have their own opinion. But I just love school visits also because it's so much fun, and especially love those kindergartners. They're making their little bits. But I also just really like the getting to meet all the authors, because I remember that before we started the bits, I had this list on my bedroom in my closet that said authors I wanted to meet. And I've almost checked off all of those authors from doing this work. And so if I think about it, without this work, all of them would have still had an empty little box. But now it's like more than half of the list is filled with checks. Yes. Is it fun to make lipids? Yes. So my favorite thing about lipids is also getting to adding books, because our lipid, in all facts lipids, probably most of them, you saw all the books. People think it's some special lipid studio, in New York City, top floor, Empire State Building lipid studio, but it's really not. It's just corner in mom's office. And I got to decorate it just how I wanted every single day. Whenever I go to a conference and I get a lot of books, I put them in, and then I always just a quick thing, I always hide Easter eggs in the back of all of my lipids. So if you look, I've had students that they sent me pictures of, they circle all the things that they can see. So I add little hidden messages. So I might add keep dreaming, I love being hurt. I would just add little things in the back, and all these kids are I found this one, this one, this one. And so that's also one of my favorite things to do. Is every single video I can switch out the messages, and I can see, I wonder if people are going to find this tag.
Have you tweeted Ellen yet to let her know what you're doing?
Have I tweeted who?
Ellen DeGeneres yet to let her know what you're doing?
Multiple times. We're working at it.
Other people have tweeted, but we haven't really tweeted at Ellen. Mostly,
Yeah, it's been other people that
retweeted other people's tweets.
Yeah, I've retweeted a lot. But it's still on my, it's on my bucket list, and I'm going to accomplish it. It's going to happen, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Where's that picture taken?
That picture is taken in New York City at the little, what's it called? Fearless Road. Yes, that was right there. And I was so excited because I'd seen so many pictures of the statue. I imagined that was me. And so I thought I also had one on my shirt, and it was called The Fearless Girl, of course. And that was right before actually they added the dog. That was the next, no, the little, they put on it.
Turn that up down.
Okay, and but yeah, so this is probably one of my favorite places ever, because it's just another example of kids and strong girls, and it's the best statue ever. Any other questions?
Yes, you said that one of your friends went on the Ellen show. Maybe you could try asking.
I have. And he's been he's like, I can talk to her, so he's tweeted that to Ellen. And it's He's like, hi, it's me again. Do you remember me? I have a friend who would love to be on the show. And she doesn't someday. Thank you, everybody, so much.
So Liz gets a very quick break, and for those of you, she's going to be in the cafeteria with Cynthia, her mom. So if you're going to that session, if not, they're in separate sessions this afternoon. That was another question we posed to Liv, if she'd be comfortable being in a session on her own, and she is. So what a powerful voice.
Never done it before, so.
Go for it, though, right? I love the go for it attitude. So I hope everyone enjoys the rest of your day. You have about 20 minutes to get to the first session, and have it on and start the school year.